Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Islam. Shabbat Shalom. Peace.
Young brother from the cutter, always been a fighter, never been a runner. Mama was a hunter, daddy was a hunter. All my brothers hunt each other. Known to knuckle up and uppercut, a slugger, punch a snuffer, stunner, thugger, gunner, stutter, blood, a sputter. You gon' do the Brooklyn, Brucker, kind of drummer. Father thought I was a parasite in mama belly, but he had it wrong. He ain't know he had a spawn of a warlord till in 9 months I was born. Big, black, strong, body yellow prawn. I'ma be a king, killing all the pawn. Better be informed when I blow the horn, bringing in the dust, waking up the dawn, looking at the card. Prophesized by the shaman voodoo. Seen it all through the eye of Horus that I watch and view through. There was other warriors before me, but they not this cruel. Do all this money, but I'm not Mabudu. You don't know me, you forgot, now you do. Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu. My name is Shaka Zulu. I'm at the top of Kuku. I got the power, who knew? Why would a god salute you? They call me Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu, Shaka Zulu. My name is Shaka Zulu. I'm at the top of Kuku. I got the power, who knew? Why would a god salute you? God. I'm a lion when he cry. I'm a tiger on the prowl. Call a firefighter. I got fire in my pals. Fill a rifle with the round. Banana clip ready. It's always ripest when it's brown. Put a titan in the ground. Put a diamond in the crown. With the title, I'm endowed. I recite it and I'm proud. Shaka Zulu. Hot fire gonna barbecue you. Something happened to my mom. I'm cuckoo. Block, 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 block. Boom, boom. Don't need a Glock to shoot you. If you black enough, the cops will shoot you. You Apollo, they gon' Rocky to you. You a Judah, they gon' Costa sue you. You cannot box my boots. You beat a wigger out his socks and boo. If you weak, then I cannot recruit you. All I see is men in bras and tutus. You a pocket juice. You bring the text and I'ma chop and screw you. Split it out of my atomic nuke. You turn another color Honolulu. Don't let the thoughts seduce you. Every king need a conscious noodle. Queen that never bring the drama to you. Brown skin like a chocolate you. I am not the usual. Wake the sun up like a rockadoo. You wanna see me, gotta drop your moon rule. Good and evil got a common neutral. They call me Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. My name is Shaka Zulu. I'm at the top of Kuku. I got the power, who knew? Why would a god salute you? They call me Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu. My name is Shaka Zulu. I'm at the top of Kuku. I got the power, who knew? Why would a god salute you?
Peace. 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 So, first I want to apologize. I want to apologize to everybody about my loose wording. The video that I put out yesterday, it hit in the gut, and that topic, lynching type of topic, I kind of, yeah, I pretty much, I don't be thinking about, well, there's a difference between cursing someone and using profanity. There's a difference. I don't curse nobody. I never curse no one. I don't curse. Now, I use profanity somewhat. You know, when I talk regularly, I'm a little loose sometimes, but at the end of the day, I'm a grown man. So if I hurt some people's feelings or some people didn't understand, I am a very peaceful, I am a very humble, I am a very loving person, especially when it has to do with my people. So I kind of go there a little bit. So I just wanted to apologize. Like I said, for those who don't understand, profanity and cursing, two different things. So I use profanity. I never curse people. I never curse nobody. My heart is too good for that. I'm not into that. You know what I mean? The love for my people is what makes me go off like that. So if you accept my apology, I apologize. Because I'm all about uh, the feminine principle. I'm all about uh, the law of attraction that's in the Kybalion. I'm all about that. I'm all about love. My love resonates so high. That's just who I am. I'm just a loving person. You know what I mean? So especially when I'm talking, this is my topic. When this is the topic. So I was going through yesterday, I was going through my grandmother's ancestry.com. My great grandmother. Her name is Ruth Jackson Oblockham, right? So I was going through her ancestry stuff yesterday, and I ran into this situation that happened that I wasn't familiar with. Like, I don't think too many people was familiar with this. Okay, it's called Red Summer, the race riots of 1919. All right, well, from what I understand, this thing wound up being like a big situation. It started in Chicago, and then it ended up in like the Carolinas, Maryland, and I think Virginia. I'm not sure. We're gonna read it though. I just can't remember. This is like I just started reading this last night, so I'm still kind of gathering the information. I really should have waited until I got all the information, but it was just mind blowing how the Most High will drop downloads. We don't know when he's gonna drop them. I don't know when he's gonna drop them. You know, it's just the Most High, man. He's just amazing how things connect. You know what I mean? I was talking about lynching, and then I went through my ancestry.com and my great grandmother. I pulled up her information and I started going through dissecting and looking through all of her paperwork. And I ran into this situation that happened that started in Chicago and then it spread all over the East Coast. It was called the Red Summer Race Riots of 1919. So I was going to get into that. I just realized this Ogden Cafe has all kinds of soft drinks reserved, high class music and dancing, special matinee every Monday, souvenirs given away. Okay. So, this Ogden looks familiar because I already know I'm all about regaining my cosmic memory, regaining uh, my cosmic memory. I'm trying to, get my memory back, my ancient memory back. So, I was looking at this picture and I was like, I want to find out who the owner of this. Now, first of all, only we have high class music. So this has to be black owned or melanated owned. Gotta be. It gotta be. And then when I look at this picture, look at this picture. If you look at it right, I'm just gonna dissect it for a minute. Just check it out. So if you look over here, you see these brothers, they kind of deep, right? They kind of chilling. Everybody got shoes on. One of the reasons I don't really like hard bottom, what I call them slippery earls. One of the reasons why I don't really like slippery earls is because they freak and they just if you get into a physical altercation with somebody, you'll be slipping and sliding all over the place. So I call them, me and my boys, we call them slippery earls. I wear it for the most part, 95% of the time I wear tennis shoes. But back in the day, they was rocking these slippery earls real heavy. That's all they really wore was the earls. I don't like wearing different environment, bro. Like my dad always taught me always be war ready. Always be ready for the Civil War. If a civil war break out while you out in public, be ready. So it kind of made me kind of like coming up as a kid, I always grew up. When I leave the house, I don't wear flip flops. Like the millennials nowadays, all they want to wear is flip flops. I mean, out in public, Adidas flip flops and all this stuff that you can't really. If you get into an altercation with somebody, you can't protect yourself if your feet ain't right. You might got to run in the woods. You might got to take off running. You can't run and defend yourself in flip flops. So, and I feel the same way about Slippery Earls. But it's cool that times are different. They ain't have 990s and I mean Ace Nike boots. They ain't have all that stuff. They had Slippery Earls, man. 1919. That's what they wore. He's slick though, man. Check him out though. At least he got his pants up. Everybody got their pants. Type of war pop off. They ready, right? And then look over here. More melanated people. More melanin equal Ogden again. Ogden Cafe. Oh no, that's the same store. Okay, my bad. It's the same store. It's just a connection. Yeah. So I'm gonna look into Ogden Cafe. But you check out the picture. You got this brother standing back here with us. It look like he might be the owner. I bet you a melanated family or person owns this business. The way they looking back here, they posted up. It just if it was something going on, Caucasians would be out front. And then you got these soldiers standing here. I don't know what's up with this boy. I really can't tell his nationality, but these are definitely Caucasoids. So yeah, I'm just checking the picture out, man. And look how he just posted up, arms behind his back. He just like, what's up? I mean, they looking like they want to smoke. He looking like OG, looking like he wants smoke, and he look like he looking at him. He look like he wants smoke. And these brothers, they look like he might be checking out some girl across the street or something. Yeah, I like looking at dissecting pictures. So let's continue. Let's continue. It's my grandmother, R.I.P. Nah, I love you. Short, chocolate, probably about 5'1", something like that. 5'1". Yeah, man. So it says, R.I.P. Nah, love you. You know. I always talk to my ancestors, man. I always, try to communicate with them. You might want to be a little careful with that because, you know, we don't really know what all of our ancestors were into. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure everybody didn't think the same way. I'm quite sure, like me, I got family members today. Sometimes they ain't with it. Sometimes they just be in their own little life, and we all are different. Just because you might have an uncle that might have been a rider for the people, he might got a sister that's on the other side. So you never really know who was really into what unless you dig into their paperwork. So from what I knew about my grandmother, I was, this is my great grandmother. So I remember uh, having conversations with her when I was really young, but I, she never really got real deep, esoteric type of stuff. She never really got into that. But it says Ruth was living in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1919, around the time when a nearby race riot sparked looting, arson, and murder. So I go, man, from what I understand, this whole thing popped off in Chicago, but we'll get into that. Let me see, let's just do a little reading. I didn't cue nothing up. I started reading and I got some free time. I came in from work and I just started recording. So it's not queued up. I'm going to probably be in for about 30 minutes and then we're going to close out. So it says the end of the war, the end of World War I in 1919 brought significant change in the United States as soldiers were returning home. Higher unemployment gave rise to increased competition for work. Hmm. That same thing, my opinion, my perspective is I feel like that same thing is happening today. Still happening. You know, you'll be surprised. I'm not trying to justify nobody, how people move or whatever. All I'm saying is you'd be surprised when your back is up against the wall and you're starving to death, or you have family members that are starving to death. You'll be surprised what you might do to stop the hunger pains. And people will fight because everybody trying to be the man. Everybody want to be the man. Personally, I ain't trying to be the man. I'm humble. All I want to do is be comfortable, be able to halfway eat, and but if my back up against the wall, I know how to go get money. You know, so I'm just saying, this type of thing, you know, when money get tight, man, that's when things get tight. That's when you find out what's really going on with you uh, internally. What kind of heart do you really have? Are you going to ride till the wheels fall off and you know not make no treaties regardless, or are you going to make treaties? Or you never know, man. When you hungry, when you got a baby that's starving to death, or you look over at your mother and your mother's hungry, man, you don't know what you might do, man. So, lingering racial tensions led whites in cities across the country to unleash their frustrations on innocent African Americans, Native Americans. Between January and September 1919, 40 African American neighborhoods across the United States were attacked. Homes and businesses were destroyed. African Americans were beaten, shot, and lynched at random. Before the mobs subsided, hundreds had been killed. So did y'all know about this red summer? And this is just with ancestry.com. You know, cause I'm telling you personally, and it's just me. Like I said, everybody got their own perspective. I don't trust, and I don't trust that all of the information that ancestry.com gives us is accurate. And I've also found in some cases where some people were swapped out. Something happened where they swapped stuff where they swapped the people out. Yes, bro. Give me like 5 minutes, bro. All right. Okay. All right. I ain't ready to go this second, bro. Give me a minute. I gotta get the money out of my cash app. I'm not gonna give you my cash app card. I'm gonna walk to the store with you. Give me a minute. That's okay. I'll call. That's why you gotta communicate with me, bro. I told you I was doing a video. I'm not sending my. I'm not doing that. I don't even know how to do, bro. Just when I'm done, I'm gonna come down the steps and I'm gonna come get you. All right, bro. All right, bro. Damn. What the hell? Everybody want to talk to me when I'm doing something, yo. All right, so my bad, my little brother. Hey, everybody want my attention when I'm busy. So my bad. You know, I got little brothers, little sisters, children, stepchildren, parents. You know, I take care of everybody. So everybody always need my attention. Shit. Sometimes I don't have the attention to give. So let me finish. Okay, I'm done. Now, where was I? Okay. Now, ancestry.com, right? I'm not complaining. It's men. That's what we go through. Most men, the head of the household, that's what we do, man. Men stand up, you know what I mean, and do your job, man. I'm not complaining. It's just I was in the middle of doing something. So now this is one of okay, let me read up here. Down here. Summer's most violent riot took place in Chicago starting on July the 27th. Violence lasted for 13 days, leaving at least 38 people dead, 32 African Americans and 15 whites, and more than 1,000 African Americans homeless. 19 Chicago, Illinois. Now, all these boys is running around in Chicago, shooting up each other, killing each other. Did y'all know this happened in Chicago? Did y'all know? This look like, let's zoom in on this. Let's zoom in on this. Hold on. Let's zoom in on this. Check out this picture. So it looked like it was rioted. It looked like it might be an apartment, maybe. You can see where they busted went, and a whole bunch of Caucasoids. So you already know they ran through. It probably was melanated people living in this house. And then they done bust all the windows and pretty much took over the house. Even got the old head reading the newspaper or something. But look, they got pipes and sticks and rocks and bats, and they got the kids out there. Look at this. Check out the pictures, man. Check out the pictures. Pay attention to these pictures. I don't see I see not one melanated person in this picture. All Caucasoids. All of them. Check them out. Sticks, pipes, bats, broken windows. They went in. They went in paper everywhere. Kids posing and acting goofy. So yeah, man, remembering. We do a lot of fighting amongst each other. We got a bigger problem, man, to deal with, man. So let's look at some more of these flips. So here's another, get a close up on it. So this is a big, man, check it out. Now, this brother looking like he Chickamauga for real. He looking like me. He looking like duh. I get it, you got the gun. I get it that y'all, think y'all big shots and all that, but I'll go in your mouth, standing right here, right now. He got his arms, he got his sleeves rolled up, and he ready to do it. Because when I see a lot of the lynchings go on, right, one of the questions I asked in my video, I was like, in these lynchings, where was the brother's homies? Where was his family member? Did anybody, we don't know. I don't know. I'm just asking, did anybody help? Or were they just that scared and that passive, walking around with their heads down, don't want to look at nobody? This brother, he eye to eye. And the kid, he back here smoke, he back here laughing like, yeah, that's right, get him on. But look, he got his homeboys on the cuff though. Well, who's this? Okay, is this a soldier? Yeah, because I read some of this. I think some of the Buffalo soldiers went down there to help them, to help. Probably, maybe them. Well, they was in the military, so they really had no choice. Like I said, man, when you got to survive, you never know what you'll do, man. You'll never know what you'll do, man. Never know what you'll do. So, yeah. Check the picture out. Okay, yeah, he is a soldier. Got the boots on. So let's read what it says. It says, to the surprise of many whites, African Americans fought back against their attackers. In Washington, D.C., confrontation, white casualties outnumbered the African American deaths 2-1. Like I said, man, I don't know. Ancestry.com, I catch these people in lies all the time, man. I've seen my people's paperwork. I've seen names change. I've seen uh, birth dates change from a year ago. The dates are different today. I've seen place of births change. I've seen races change from 6 months to a year. Things have changed. I didn't see it change. So, you know, I don't trust everything that ancestry.com say. So I'm just saying. That's my opinion. If you got a problem with it, then address it directly. Don't be indirectly addressing shit. Cause I don't listen to indirect shit. That shit don't bother me. My skin is way too thick to address indirect beefing. So if you got an issue, directly holler at me and we'll talk about it like adults. So let's talk about this. So a lot lot of information out here about this red summer. So I found this on you on Yahoo. And it says hundreds of black deaths in 1919 are being remembered. This is why I do what I do. I do what I do for the remembrance. Trying to figure it out, man. Trying to get this cosmic memory back and figure it out, man. You know, because we know that and rewritten. You never know, man. When you're dealing with history, it got to be a vibration and a frequency because you can't trust the paperwork. You can't trust it. So yeah, smiling, acting like a kid, right? Doing what kids do. This is like the brother that posed on the other picture, right? And I'm gonna look up some information on the Ogden Cafe. Well, we know that it was some melanated people only because we the only ones that's into. Uh, and you got these strap, but just check them out. Okay, so OG, he ready to go in. OG like he ready to go in. OG like no, look he like hold up. OG he like he ready. He look, like bro, what's up? I wonder a lot. When they show these movies and stuff, like you always see us with our heads to the ground. You don't want to, make direct eye contact. I wonder, was it really like that? Was it some people that was doing it? Or was it all of them that was doing it? Because I know for me, 20 years old, I'd have been in a confrontation with somebody. There's no way that I would have been looking at the ground. Yeah, yes, sir. No problem, sir. Man, I would. So from the looks of this, everybody been wasn't down. No, these brothers, they with it. And they got his back, got their back. Look how deep they are. Ain't no army guys. See, when I'm a brother, what a white boy. Man, look, we know how they did this in history, man. They got us thinking something that wasn't true. A lot of these businesses. So let's flip through. Let's look at some more pictures real quick before I look at the art. Ah, Papa Smurf. Ah, yeah, Papa Smurf. He not with it. He not with them. What is he? Up. Look at this. clips, all bayonets. Man, picture red summer anniversary. They should have like a statement for every picture like this. How many more pictures? Oh, we seen this one already. This a light skinned dude. I don't know, just yet. But look at the house though. They ran through it. All right, check them out. Y'all know how they get. You saw the video I showed yesterday where they was throwing rocks at this sister that they had on the ground, man. You know how they get? They get real trifling, man. These Caucasoids, man. It gets real trifling, dog. It gets real trifling. And picture from yesterday. So that picture must have been from the Red Summer 1919 race riots. Let's read a little bit now. So it says, uh, Yahoo News got Red Summer anniversary in 1919 photos provided by the Chicago History Museum. A victim is stoned and bludgeoned under a corner of a house riot. So yeah, it's the same picture from yesterday. So it says America in the summer of 1919 ran red with blood from racial violence. And yet today, 100 years later, not many people know it even happened. That's true, right? It flowed in small towns like Elaine, Arkansas, in medium-sized places such as Annapolis, Maryland, and Syracuse, New York, and in big cities like Washington and Chicago. Hundreds of African American men and women and children were burned alive. Were burned alive, shot, hanged, or to death by white mobs. Thousands saw their homes and businesses burned to the ground and were driven out. Many never returned. So now, okay, so now we know that a lot of these businesses and the homes were belong to us. Yeah. Because of the bloodshed. They called it Red Summer. Because of the bloodshed and amounted to some of the worst white on black violence in the States history. All right. All right. So it says, beyond the lives and family fortunes lost, it had far reaching repercussions. I'm sorry, far reaching repercussions, contributing to generations of black distrust of white authority. But it also galvanized blacks to defend themselves and their neighborhoods with fists and guns, right? Reinvigorating civil rights organizations like the NAACP and led to a new era of activism, gave rise to courageous reporting by black journalists, and influenced the generation of leaders who would take up the fight for racial equality decades later. Man, I heard somebody do a video yesterday. I was just tapping in. I really don't watch people videos, but I heard a dude do a video. He all Mr. I know everything, yo. Yeah, I've been doing this 30 decades. 30 decades? Okay. 1 decade is 10 years. So you don't say 30 decades. You say 3 decades, or you say 30 years. Professor, I know everything as yo. Crazy, y'all. You can't, no, hey, no, I ain't got to say. All right, so where was I at? I heard somebody do a video yesterday. He said 30 decades. What? No, 3 decades. 1 decade is 10 years. Oh, man. So, now I don't, NAACP, whatever. I don't really get into that because I done heard too much wild stuff about them too. So, the people who were the icons of the civil rights movement were raised by people who survived Red Summer, said Sanjay Mathua, a history professor at the University of Minnesota. See, me, I know I don't know everything. I don't come off like I know everything. I don't come off like I'm professor, know everything. That ain't me. All I'm doing is shedding light to our youth so they can know about our history, man. I ain't all trying to say I know everything. You got to learn from me. And nah, man, I don't know. I'm a baby. This information that I'm learning, I'm like a child learning every day. I'm like a child learning. I don't never come off like I know everything. And like the next man is so stupid because you don't know what I know. No, we are sick people, man. With certain things, we not supposed to just know unless somebody puts that spark in you. And in order to get that spark, you got to be around people that have a certain level of knowledge and understanding to even be able to start to get you to think this kind of way. So I don't fault nobody, man, especially our people that's a little behind on the things that the information, because we all trying to learn, man. They done took our history, flip flop, wish washed it, you know what I mean, and then regurgitated it back to us stupid. Like, and then the bad part about it is when we have our own people that help. We have traders that help with furthering the social engineering and the twilight zoneness of our consciousness. So we trying to get back our old ancient way of thinking about things. At least I am. Most of us are. Most of us that's woke are. So it says, for all that, there are no national observances marking Red Summer. I bet. We know this. History textbooks ignore it. Well, this library just told it because our youth need to know it. And most museums don't acknowledge it. The reason Red Summer contradicts the post-World War I era notion that America was making the world safe for democracy, historians say. It doesn't fit into the neat stories we tell ourselves, said David Krugler, author of 1919, The Year of Racial Violence, How African Americans Finally Fought Back. Nowadays, man, it's go along, get along, gang, man. You know, you'd be surprised what people do for subscribers and views and friends. And man, look, I don't need to be nobody's friend for real. I got family, I got loved ones where I'm at. Like, my name ring bells in the physical form. So I don't need to be with all that. Because half the time it's fake anyway. Man. So it says that could change. A monument has been proposed in Arkansas. Several authors have written about the Bloody Summer. A Brooklyn choral group performed Red Summer theme songs like "And They Lynched Him on a Tree" in March to commemorate the centennial story. Hold on, let me pull this out. Okay, here we go. That's cool. We're gonna get this real quick. It might be a little longer than 30 minutes, my bad, y'all, but I'm starting to see more information. There was a centennial, okay. At the National World War I Museum and Memorial in Kansas City, Matthew and Arthur Cameron McWhitter plan to present some of their findings July 30th. So researchers believe that in a span of 10 months, more than 250 African Americans were killed in at least 25 riots across the United States, but white mobs that never faced punishment. Yeah, well, we know that they never. That's why they take pictures. That's why the video I did yesterday, you can see them standing around taking pictures. Even today, the same thing today. The little brother that got shot by the guys that were driving the pickup truck. I mean, they finally got jammed up, but in the beginning they didn't get jammed. They wasn't worrying about it. They take pictures and all kinds of. They don't get punished. Even today they don't get punished unless somebody catches it on camera. Then you might get punished. Other than that, they don't get punished, man. Historian John Hope Franklin called it the greatest period of interracial strife the nation has ever witnessed. No, because you also got to take into consider the American Holocaust also. Shit was the product of
What color is your towel? What color is your towel? No.
the bloodshed was the product of a collision of social forces. Black men were returning from World War I expecting the same rights they had fought and bled for in Europe. And African Americans were moving north to escape the brutal Jim Crow laws of the South. Huh. They just told on themselves with this one. Black men returning to the world expecting. Oh, never mind. No. Never mind. I'm thinking about something else. But yeah, where we at? Laws of the South. All right. Whites saw blacks as competition for jobs, homes, and political power. Sounds about right. It's happening right now. It's happening today. Even melanated people are fighting each other over surviving. Ethnic cleansing was the goal of the white rioters, said William Tootle, a retired professor of American Studies at the University of Kansas and of race riot Chicago in the Red Summer of 1919. They wanted to kill as many black people as possible and to terrorize the rest until they were willing to leave and live somewhere else. The violence didn't start or end in 1919. Some count the era of Red Summer as beginning with the deaths of more than 24 African Americans in East St. Louis, Illinois in 1917, and extended through the Rosewood Massacre of 1923, when a black town in Florida was destroyed. And we know about the Rosewood Massacre. We know about this one. All told, at least 1,122 Americans were killed in racial violence over those 6 months by Tootle's account. So you know it's probably more than that. So they always suppressing the real number. So in 1919 alone, violence erupted such places as New York, Memphis, Tennessee, Philadelphia, Charleston, South Carolina, Baltimore, where I'm from, New Orleans, Wilmington, Delaware, Omaha, Nebraska, New London, Connecticut, Bisbee, Arizona, Longview, Texas, Knoxville, Tennessee, Norfolk, Virginia, and Putnam County, Georgia. In the nation's capital, white mobs, many made up members of the military, rampaged over the weekend of July 19th through the 22nd, beating any black they could find at the false rumors of white women being assaulted by black men spread. They always using that. They always using that. Ooh, look at this. Mama Bears does this man. Hold on, Mama Bear does this man after man saves sinking cups. Mama Bears does this after man saves sinking cups. Oh, okay. It look like she's going at it, yo. Well, let me get back. So it says, in front of the Riggs Bank, the rioters beat a Negro with clubs and stones wrapped in handkerchiefs. The bleeding figure lay in the street for over 20 minutes before being taken to the hospital. Floyd M. Abernathy wrote in the Maryland Historical Magazine in 1963, seeing the failure of the police, the mob became even more contemptuous of authority. Two Negroes were attacked and beaten directly in front of the White House. So we dealing with. There's nothing new under the sun. Let's close up. So it says they had caught a Negro and deliberately held him as one would a beef for slaughter. And when they had immediately adjusted him for lynching, they shot him, Woodson wrote. I heard him groaning in his struggle as I hurried away as fast as I could without running, expecting every moment to be lynched myself. Hmm. Hmm. In Elaine, Arkansas, poor black sharecroppers who had dared to join a union were attacked, and at least 200 African Americans were killed. I said 30 minutes, y'all. My bad. It's just getting deeper and deeper. So Ida B. Wells, a pioneering black journalist and one of the few reporters to interview victims, noted a woman named Lula Black was dragged from her farm by a white mob after saying she would join the union. They knocked her down, beat her over the head with pistols, kicked her all over her body, almost killed her, then took her to jail. Wells wrote in her report, the Arkansas race riot. The same mob went to Frank Hall's house and killed Frances Hall, a crazy old woman housekeeper, tied her clothes over her head, threw her body in the public road, where it lay thus exposed till the soldiers came Thursday evening and picked it up. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So black journalists like Wells an important role in getting the story out. Right. So black newspapers like Chicago Defender were instrumental in providing an alternate voice that represented why African Americans deserved to be here, deserved equal rights, and were, in some cases, justified in fighting, said Kevin Street, a curator at Smithsonian National Museum of African American History of Culture. So we're going to get some more of this, man. Get some more of this. All right. It's also a new era of black resistance to white injustice, with African Americans standing up in unprecedented numbers and killing some of their tormentors. What? He finally fought back. Returning black soldiers from World War One led the charge using skills they refined in Europe. The Germans weren't the enemy. The enemy was right here at home. Exactly. That's one of the things, man. Like, we always worrying about the outsiders, when the whole time your real issues be with the people at home, and focus on them first. So the enemy was right at home, said Harry Haywood in his autobiography, a black communist in the freedom struggle. The life of Harry Haywood. In Washington, Carrie John, 17 years old, became a hero for shooting at a white invaders in her neighborhood. Shooting at white invaders in her neighborhood. She fatally shot a white policeman who broke into her second-story bedroom. She claimed self-defense, and her manslaughter conviction was overturned. And NAACP gained 100,000 members that year, said 100,000, said McWhitter, author of Red Summer, The Summer of 1919, and The Awakening of Black America. Soon, blacks were going to Congress, pressing congressmen and senators to pass anti-lynching legislation. At the same time, they're fighting back in the courts. They're filing lawsuits. People are being mistreated or railed. The lessons of Red Summer were so I think that's gonna be the meal. It said, and they said never again. So they saying the black veterans came. Okay, I read that. You have a similar situation where African Americans had done their part to make the world safe for democracy. The black veterans came home, and many of them were alive or had heard the stories of what happened in 19. Said never again. So let's go into this. To this. Hmm. Hmm? What's this? Carl Sandburg. Carl Sandburg and the Chicago race riots in 1919. Some more information. So it says the Chicago race riots. I'm about to dismount in a minute, y'all. I got some stuff I got to take care of. Ready to get out of here. But I just wanted to bring this. I'm going to do some more digging on it and figure out what's really going on. But yeah, just bringing awareness, man, to the community. That's it. So it says the Chicago race riots. The truth is there ain't no Negro problem anymore than there's a Irish problem or a Russian problem or a Polish problem or a Jewish or any other problem. There's only the human problem. All we demand is the open door. Hmm. You give us that, and we won't ask nothing more of you, right? Union member, the Chicago race riots. Chicago race riots. Hmm. So yeah, check this out. Okay. Okay, so here's the picture that we saw when look, this is the picture we just saw when this like he OG, he ready to go. Yeah, he ready to go. So let's see what this say. Let's see what this article is talking about. See if they put some yeast on it, or they hold something back, or you know, when you're dealing with these writings, you never know what you'll run into. So it says, fueled by simmering tensions and sparked by the stoning and drowning of a black teenage boy swimming near a white only beach. 38 people were killed and 537 injured during the Chicago race riots. See how the numbers changed again? The violence ended after the National Guard stepped in. So these must be the National Guard. These the Guard. It's the National Guard. Deadly racial riots have occurred across the United States during 1919's Red Summer. Chicago's race riots were considered the worst. Don't forget about the American Holocaust. 60 million people. Nothing compares to that. I ain't talking about the Jewish Holocaust. I'm talking about the American Holocaust. In 1919, Carl Sandburg was a Chicago Daily News reporter. His articles before, during, and after the riots revealed many causes. His insight was forged by his own struggles with poverty and by interviewing often ignored. His insights were forged by his own struggles with poverty. Oh, this is one of the journal. This is one of the Carl Sandburg was a reporter. This article. So yeah, this is one of the melanated reporters. I'ma say, because it says his insight was forged by his own struggles and poverty. I'm assuming. I can't say that because we had money too, so I could be wrong. But it says, and by interviewing often ignored immigrants and migrants. His articles were unique in 1919 and remain powerful 100 years later. Fujita, Ogden Cafe during 1990s. I want to see what's up with this Ogden Cafe. Anybody got any information about the Ogden Cafe, man? Please let me know in the comments. Please. Or I'll just do it myself. But it ain't a big deal. I'm gonna find one anyway. So it says tensions continue to rise. Did I read? Let me see something. Okay. Tensions continued to rise after World War I. Thousands of European immigrants and African Americans moved to Chicago. They crowded into existing housing. No new structures were built. Disease was rampant. Newcomers competed for same jobs. Sandburg was the only white report. Was the what? Okay, well, they put it right here. Sandburg was the only white reporter to delve into these social issues. Sandburg's first article ran on July the 14th, 2 weeks before the riots began. Hmm. Okay, who your boys? So what they doing? Okay, I see what's going on. Right. So it says meat trimming in the Union stock yards, packing house, food. See, people trying to not starve. 1892. Views in the Chicago stockyards and packing houses, Chicago History Museum, Chicago. I don't know what this is. ICHI. But in any American city, thank you, where the racial situation is critical at this moment, the radical and active factors probably are: 1, housing; 2, political and war psychology; and 3, organization of labor. Sandburg, the Chicago race riot. Okay, so your boy Sandburg was there documenting. How did he document without getting his head busted open? He running around here, all these people getting killed. You running around with a pen and paper, writing everything down. Ain't nobody throw a rock at you, dog. Crazy, man. All right, so look, Sandburg's article. Sandburg was drafting constructive recommendations based on input from the NAACP. Sandburg was drafting constructive recommendations based on input from the NAACP, local residents, and union members when the riot started on July 27th at the unofficial whites only beach. Hmm. Okay. His Chicago race riots articles, which detail the root causes, recommendations to address concerns, and the perspectives of those who experienced violence, were published in the book form in 1919. The book's insights are still meaningful. Chicago race riots, beginning of the riot. Whites and Negroes leaving 29th Street Beach after the drowning of Eugene Williams. Mm, mm. R.I.P. R.I.P. man. Uncle Eugene. R.I.P. man. All right, so it says Sandburg's contributions to social justice. Sandburg's articles received praise from the Chicago Commission on Race Relations, which was formed to address racial concerns. Okay. To address racial concerns. They already know it's a concern. They don't give a shit. Addressing. Yeah, all right, whatever. Later in life, he received an award from the NAACP for his lifelong commitment to social justice. The award was one of the few he kept on display at Connemara. The following program, adopted recently by the NAACP, contains, this must be, okay, the kinds of equality they are seeking: a vote on the same terms as for white men and women, education, a fair trial, defense against lynching and burning, equal service on railroads and other public carriers, and equal chance for livelihood, man. Man, you know, we still going through this shit today, yo. The Chicago race riots, pages 57 through 67. We still going through the same shit, though. So it says, to Carl Sandburg. Let's blow this up so we can see this. Let me see. Let's see what this says. It says, to Carl Sandburg, who at age 87 becomes a life member of the NAACP. And who has been a major prophet of civil rights in our time. And because we don't really have no civil rights fighters, all the people, all the celebrities that we think are supposed to be doing it, all the money having people, they ain't doing it. And all the other and guys like me, that's I'm not go along, get along gang. So I'm one of the ones. I'm a civil rights activist, but because I'm underground, nobody's listening. That's always the case. With all the ones that have the power, your Jay-Z's and your Puffies and all of these people, they're not doing this shit. They don't care. They doing it. You got guys like Nas. He might jump out there a little bit, but he ain't gonna really jump all the way out there. So, as a reporter on the Chicago Daily News, Mr. Sandburg made this observation on July 26, 1919, a few days after the Chicago race riots. No slum, is that slum? Yeah, no slum is separate from its community. Oh man, I didn't even share this, y'all. Hold up, y'all. All this time I'm reading this stuff. It wasn't. That's why I can't stand StreamYard. You got to remember to screen share everything. So hold up. Let me go back so you guys can see what I'm reading from. It's a lot going on in my house right now. Every time I start recording, it just be so much going on that I just forgot. Because I'm trying to address everything else that's going on, around me. But this is the actual article I was just reading from. I'll leave the link in the description box if you guys want to check it out. But this is this is the poster that was out. So it says Chicago Race Riots. This is the poster, right? This is the other picture, like the one we just saw, right? And this is the meat packing Union Stockyards. You'd be surprised, man. Like I said, when people ain't no brothers in here though. Mm. And this is the location where I'll read again. So it says Chicago race riot beginning of the riot. White and Negroes leaving 29th Street Beach after the drowning of Eugene Williams. R.I.P. Eugene. R.I.P. man. R.I.P. brother. R.I.P. brother. R.I.P. man. So let me get this part right here, and then I'm gonna dismount after I get this out, man, because I got people knocking on my door. It's all can't nobody wait. Like whenever I start recording, everybody want my attention. So let me get back. All right. Hold up. What's wrong? What's wrong, bro? What's wrong, bro? What's wrong, bro? Didn't I tell you I was recording and I was going to come out here? I'm still recording, and they can hear all this shit right now.
I'll be sitting right here when you record.
I understand, bro, but I told you I was going to come out when I was done. And you steady knock. You done knocked the door 4 times since I've been recording, yo.
I'm a bad. Treat up a man. I don't know what this nigga talking about, like, but bro, I said,
bro, I don't care about that, bro. All I'm saying is let me record, duh. I'm live right now recording, yo.
You know, I support you, shit. You the laptop 4 or 5 days. Shit.
Can I finish, yo? All right. Now, back to this. No slum is separate from its community, but the race question is national and federal. The state will be able to settle it. The federal government will have to assume the obligation. Pride of race will come to the Negro. Well, we know pride. We always using that word, yo. We know pride is a sin, duh. Why they always use it? We always using these words, man, to try to throw us off, man. Where pride is not good, man. Pride, my grandmother told me 10 years ago. I used to be very prideful, man. My grandmother told me, stop it. It's a sin. Always using this word, man. It's not a good word. But it says pride of race will come to the Negro when a dark skin is no longer associated with the poverty, misery, terror, and insult. This a white boy reading this? This a white boy? Wait a minute, y'all. First of all, y'all. Hold on. What? Wait a minute. This guy called Sandburg supposed to be a white dude? NAACP? Hold up, y'all. I need to read this. I know I just saw that, man. Here you go, right here. It say Sandburg was the only white reporter, Sandburg. But then this guy Sandburg is tapped in with the NAACP, and they calling him a prophet. Man, it's a brother, Doug. Sandburg. Hold up. Wait a minute. I saw something else. The Sandburg home. Is this the house? National Park Service? COVID-19? Oh, wait a minute. Huh? Yo, this is crazy. Hold on. I'm going to go back to the top of this page. But let's see this. It says, Carl Sandburg, poet, authentic singer of the American dream, who has given us books on Abraham Lincoln, which will endure as long as our language itself endures. Because you know, English is a backwards language. I'll go into that later. I ain't going to go into that right now. But it says, what language is up? Has strengthened our visual as we struggle to extend the frontiers of social justice. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which is the NAACP, salutes Carl Sandburg, who found beauty in brotherhood. Now, either I'm tripping or this article is tripping, or NAACP is tripping. So they got white boys in their brotherhood at the NAACP, or somebody lying. We're gonna look into this. We're gonna find out about this guy, Carl Sandburg. Please make a comment in the description box. We're gonna figure this out. Because this sounds to me, they don't know what to do with this song. Yo, he run in here for 2 minutes, run back out the door for 2. He can't sit still. Man. So I'm gonna finish. I'm almost done. I'm about to dismount, man. This has been kind of long, but it says 50 years later, Sandburg's writings were again in sharp focus during the 1960s Civil Wars movement. Carl Sandburg's reports of half a century ago are a serious indictment. I'm sorry, are a serious indictment of us as people. We are again confronted with our incredible neglect or social facts of our awareness of the meaning. We march for jobs for all, a decent pay now. For a decent pay now. How come they won't show? I want to see what Sandburg look like. And look at this. Damn. 100 years later, Sandburg's writings still serve as poignant lessons on social justice and caution as to remember the lessons of history in the century since the riots. Yeah. Excuse me. Progress has come in fits and starts. Human attention spans are short. Carl Sandburg, who witnessed and wrote about Chicago's 1919 riot, penned. So yeah, he was writing during all this stuff was going on. He was writing all this stuff. So sometimes a growl, shake myself and spatter a few red drops of history to remember. Then I forget. As we, the people, move forward, the ghosts of Chicago riot of 1919 and of all the other riots across the nation in that red summer call on us all to remember. So yeah, man, look how big the houses was though. Some big ass houses. And y'all know me, I like look at pictures heavy, like I dissect pictures, not just look at them. I need to see everything. All right. Let's read this, then I'm going to dismount. And it says Sandburg remains a champion of social throughout his lifetime, most notably through his poems. He captured the hardships, struggles, and perseverances of the people. Some of his writings are quoted, and please browse the books below to read these works in full. So these must be his books right here. Wait a minute. Bring this up. So 1919, he got a book called Hoodlums, 1919, written about the Chicago race riot. I am a hoodlum. You are a hoodlum. We and all of us are a world of hoodlums. Quotes. He did some quotes. He just in his book. Let me push this up some more. So it says, "I'm a hoodlum. You a hoodlum. Everybody a hoodlum. I hate and kill better men than I am. So do you. So do all of us. Maybe, maybe. So today my son, tomorrow yours. The day after your next, I'm sorry, the day after your next door neighbors, it is all in the wrist of the gods. It is all in the wrist of the gods who shoot the craps. Man, it is anybody's guess whose eyes shut next. Mm, that's deep. That's definitely deep. That's definitely deep. In 1930s, he wrote this book called The People. Yes, 1936. Man is a long time coming. Man will yet win. Brother may yet line up his brother. The People. 1960s. That's another book he wrote. So he was what? He got 87 when he got with NAACP. So yeah, I don't know when he wrote. They didn't give his birth date and everything, but the brother's around for a while writing. So it say, there is only one man in the world. There is only one woman in the world, and her name is All Woman. There is only one child in the world, and the child's name is All Children. Honey and Salt, page 96. So yeah, man. This guy Sandburg. I just can't understand why would the NAACP call a white boy a prophet? Hmm. We gonna find out who he is. So the Carl Sandburg home. This is his home right here. So let's read this. I'll bypass this at first. So it says alerts in effect. So it's a park winter weather closure. Oh, this is all new. This is like a month. It's like a month old. Due to the weather conditions, the entire park, including grounds, trails, and parking lots, will be closed Saturday. I'm sorry, closed beginning Saturday, January the 15th at 5 o'clock p.m. The park will remain closed until it is safe to reopen. Then park closures, right? You got your negatives. I mean, all this. It says phased reopening. Some locations closed due to COVID-19. Using the park in a phased approach. So this is a park? Lots, trails, grounds, restrooms. Man, it's like The Sandburg home and tours remain closed. Outdoor access to the goats. They got goats running around. Open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. This is his house. And this is it. The national park is his. Who is this? Carl Sandburg. And this is in North Carolina. These riots. They said he was in Chicago. He was living in North Carolina. He went to Chicago to do his reporting, or he lived up there and then moved to North Carolina. Yeah. So, with dismount. Y'all have a good evening. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom Islam. Peace.